So, Samit, welcome to Nine Chakras. So, today we are going to discuss a very important transit that is happening in the world. This transit is really going to define what is going to happen in the next 6 months. This transit is already underway and uh, it started on October 20th. It's a transit of Mangal, Mars, and Mars currently is debilitated. Debilitated, for the ones who don't know astrology, means it is weak. So, what does this weak Mars do? Now, obviously, for people who have a strong Mars in their chart, or and it is a positive or a benefic planet for them, this becomes a weak positive event. For people who are running adverse dashas or who have a malefic Mars, this is a problem because the maleficence will also depend on where the Mangal is placed in your chart and what is happening. But before we get into more details, let me first take you back and understand and explain what does this Mars energy really mean. So Mars is our ability to get up and do things, take action. It's our aggression. So supposing someone hit your car or scooter, mobike on the road. If you have a very strong Mars which is not controlled, you could start punching before the guy has, even opened his mouth. If you have a very weak Mars or a Mars which is combust, you will avoid conflict. So it is that ability to have and handle conflict, handle aggression. But the thing is, Mangal owns two houses in the zodiac out of 12. So it doesn't matter as to which Rashi, moon sign you are, or which ascendant you are, Mangal is going to affect you. Mangal is physical energy. So a lot of sports people have strong Mangal in their charts, in their birth charts, or they're running very strong Mangal related dashas, either Mangal directly or Mangal influenced planet running as the dasha lord, or at least the dasha antardasha lord. So what this means is that since October 20th, from October 20th to almost June second week, Mangal will be in a slightly different kind of a role. So he's the military commander, he's the policeman. He also, Mangal is also Karaka for all property or rather land matters. Uh, so all of these things will be affected in slightly odd or strange manners. So all people who are in real estate, everyone who's in the military or who's in the police force will see some sort of a shift in the way they're working. And it's going to continue for a while. But of course, there will be different things that happen in the next 8-9 months. So, what will happen? Number one, from October 20th to 2nd December, it will be a normal Mangal transit in Cancer, which is also your Kark Rashi. So, in Kark Rashi, which is owned by Moon, Mangal will be a bit weak. And Moon, because it transits across the zodiac in 20 or 30 days, every 2 days the Mangal's quality changes because it is disposited by Moon, and whenever Moon will be friendly or aspected this by this Mangal, the time will be normal. But whenever it is not, so out of the 40 days odd, 42 days when this Mangal transit will happen straight down, there will be at least 15 days that are normal, or 20 days. Rest 20 days, the Martian energy will be a little lower. Now, also remember, for any dasha, for any transit, especially for a planet like Mangal, a lot of these things happen early in the transit. So, from October 20th to 20th November, 25th November, most of what has to happen would have been seeded at least. Even if the results are not shown right now, um, the fundamentals of what is going to happen has been kind of set. On 2nd December, this Mangal will go retrograde. Retrograde means if you're watching from Earth, it'll appear Mars is going backwards in its transit. So instead of going forward, it's going back again. Now, this is a perception. It is how we are seeing the Mangal. Mangal is actually going forward only. But what is happening when Mangal goes retrograde will be uh, Mangal will be stronger and Mangal will be more independent of Sun. So any planet which goes retrograde is at least 6, 7, 8 houses away from Sun. And when that happens, there is a lot of independence from Sun. So you can see there could be conflict between the military and the government, or some military overthrow can happen, or at least some stress can happen between the military and the government based on where the sun is in the country or nation's chart. It can also happen that you have differences with your boss. So this is at a general level. Won't happen with everybody, won't happen in the same manner, but it might happen. The other thing that will happen is when it is going retrograde, it'll start giving results of the previous transit it had when Mars was in Gemini, which it was there for almost 45 days until October 20th. So you will be going back into September and early parts of October if there was some unfinished business, which was Mangal related, maybe property related, or maybe the police will catch a criminal they almost caught in September, but he escaped. Just as an example. After that, in retrograde state, Mangal will go to Gemini and then become direct. It'll then again keep moving into Gemini and come out of Gemini back into Cancer in a direct motion in March. So most of January it is going backwards in Cancer. Then it moves into Gemini end of January, and then in February it is moving forward in Gemini, and then it enters Cancer in March, mid March, and then it'll exit Cancer around June 11th. So that's a long period of time. Normally, Mangal transits are 45 days. If there's a retrograde, maybe 90 days or 120 days. Here, it's doing this transit for almost like 200 days plus. So it's a special transit, and it has major implications for what will happen here on in terms of the world, and in terms of some global events will get shaped because of this. Number one, because Mangal is this energy which needs expression, there will be some bottling up of energy, or let's say there will be indirect attacks rather than direct attacks. So you can think that terror attacks will increase around the world. Number two, a lot of property matters could get complicated, and a lot of countries can get into a situation of confusion where they don't know whether to attack or to defend or to do this or do that, because Mangal will be aspecting with its eighth aspect on Shani. And Shani will be going direct on November 15th. So the first thing you will notice is that when Shani goes direct in Aquarius on November 15th, you will see a shift of energy. So things will start moving forward again. But with this weakened Mangal's aspect on Shani, you might be a little confused, or you might be wondering what to do, whether to do this or do that. So that is one possibility. The other is that there might be a lot of conflict, which will start especially when Mars goes retrograde. Remember, on 5th of November, there is a election in the US, and that election can get contested or disputed, and that dispute can go violent. So that's one possibility. For India, this is going to be a very interesting time, because a lot of actions will be taken by the military forces, the police forces, the intelligence forces that they have not been doing earlier. and these will intensify in December, especially after 2nd December. And there is a danger of some inter-community violence or communal violence. There's a possibility of protests, and there is a possibility of some sort of a reversal in the property market. These are some obvious things. Mangal is aspecting Shani, so there is also some possible reversal, weakening, strengthening, some change in Saturn related activities, which could include metals and oils and so on. So, oil market can be impacted by that as well. So, this is what is going to happen once it reaches Gemini. It'll really redo what has been happening from 15th August into October 20th, and then it'll again go back into Cancer and stay in Cancer for a pretty long time. It'll take whole of April, May to transit it, and parts of March. So it'll be going in slow motion. When it goes in slow motion, then that karma, just like Saturn is a slow moving planet, so any planet that goes slowly is basically, it's like, uh, it's going to make sure that every aspect of that karma is upturned. Every emotion is burned. So you got angry. So you must have felt 50 emotions. So those 50 emotions, one by one, will be tackled. So that once the transit is complete, none of those 50 remain. Now, what are you to do? Special warning for people who are Cancer ascendants or Cancer Rashi, because the Mangal is in your sign. And for them, Mangal is a good planet, so it should actually go well. But when it retrogrades or when it is in Gemini, you could face some challenges based on what your how your planets are placed otherwise. For Aquarians, Aquarius Rashi and Aquarius Lagna also, because Saturn is getting aspected from Mangal, there can be some confusion